So, good morning, students. And today we will continue with our chapter life process. And in this chapter, we are discussing the second life process, that is respiration. Already in our last class, we have discussed what is respiration, what are the types of respiration, and the respiratory pathway. Okay, so now today we will be discussing respiratory pathway. Yes, respiratory pathway is also completed. Now, students, when we have discussed about the types of respiration, we said there are two types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. And students, you can remember that when I told you to differentiate between the two, except the first point, point 3 and point 4, I kept pending. And I discussed the respiratory pathway. And after that, again, I told you that we will be back to the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So students, after the discussion of the respiratory pathway, can you tell me what will be the end product of the aerobic respiration? What will be the end product of aerobic respiration? Anyone? We discussed the respiratory pathway. So what will be the end product of aerobic respiration? What will be the end product of aerobic respiration? Just raise your hand. Anyone? Anyone? End product of aerobic respiration. You can see, okay, through the chat box also. Yes, Akanksha, energy, CO2, water. Very good. Actually, this is from the chemical reaction which is highlighted on your screen. See this one. The end product of aerobic respiration, I have marked over here, carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Okay, this is the end product of aerobic respiration. So one more point in the differentiation comes. What are the end products? The end products in aerobic respiration is CO2, H2O, and energy. And now, if we are saying about the end product of anaerobic respiration, the end product of anaerobic respiration, so if it is the lactic acid fermentation, lactic acid, and if it is the alcoholic fermentation, then ethanol, CO2, energy. And the third difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration regarding the amount of energy released. So in which case, the yes, students, just a moment. Just a moment. Yes, the class got disconnected in between. Now again it has resumed. Okay, no problem. Let me share my screen with you all again. Hope my screen is visible to all. Just a minute. Just a moment, my screen sharing is getting loaded. Yes, students. Yes, the class, due to some net issue, it is getting disconnected. Again, I'm sharing my screen. Just wait for a second. Yes, yes, students. The class, yes, due to the network issue, the class got disconnected in between. Okay, no problem. Now I hope it is audible and my screen is also visible to all. Okay, fine. Remain connected, student. Even if the class get disconnected, or within few seconds, again it is connected. So don't leave the class. Remain connected. Now, we were discussing the second point in the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. That is, in aerobic respiration, the end product are CO2, water, and energy, and the end products in anaerobic respiration are alcohol or lactic acid, CO2, and energy. And I ask you that in which case, aerobic or anaerobic, the amount of the energy produced will be maximum. The amount of the energy produced will be maximum in which case, aerobic or anaerobic? Anyone? The amount of the energy produced. Now, Aditi, it is audible. Okay, Akanksha raised her hand. Okay, Akanksha, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. In aerobic respiration.
Very good. In aerobic respiration, the amount produced will be maximum. Now, student, after this, we will be discussing first the respiration in case of the plants, and then we will discuss the respiration in case of the animals. Student, whenever we have to discuss the respiration in case of the plant, the first thing which we have to remember that plant do not have any specialized organ for respiration. So respiration in case of the plant will be discussed under the three headings: in roots, stems, and leaves. Now, in case of the roots, student, the most important part is that in case of the roots are submerged within the soil. The roots have the root hairs. Okay. If I draw the diagram of the root hair, let me show you on the screen. If suppose this is a root submerged inside the soil, okay, submerged inside the soil, then these are the root hairs. Got it? These are the root hairs. Do you agree? Okay. Now, oxygen is present between the soil particles. So by the process of diffusion, O2 will diffuse through the root hair into the root. And in the plant, the O2 will be used up. And the CO2 which is produced will diffuse out of the plant through the root hair. So by the process of simple diffusion through the students, by the process of diffusion through the root hair, O2 and CO2 exchanges occurring. Okay. Now, yes, respiration through the root is clear to all. Respiration through root is clear. Okay. Okay. Some of the students have said to once again, as because some of the other time the class is getting disconnected. I think this is the net issue. No problem. Let me show you once again. Let me show you once again. See, if this is a root, students, submerged within the soil, and let me show you, these are the root hairs. These are the root hairs. Now, this root is immersed within the soil. Now, the soil particles have oxygen present in between them. So, by the process of diffusion, the oxygen will go from the soil particles through the root hair into the root, and the CO2 which is produced in the plant will diffuse out also through the root hair. So by the process of diffusion from the high concentration to the low concentration, the O2 and CO2 exchange will occur in case of the roots. Now it is clear to all. Those who have said to repeat once again: Arnav, Gargi, Aditi, Akanksha, and Ishu said voice was not, the voice was splitting. Now it is clear to all. Yes or no? I have seen today net, yes, the class is getting disconnected a lot. Just a moment. Let the screen to come again. Just a moment, students. Today the net is showing some problem. Just a moment. Let me. Yes, students. Yes. Today network issue is coming. Let me share again my screen. All the students, you are requested to remain connected. Okay. Yes. You are requested to remain connected. Yes. Now it is clear to all. Respiration in roots. Respiration is root and clear to all. Through the chat box, you give me the reply. Okay. Okay, Akanksha. Okay, issue and Arnav has said, yes, voice was splitting and that is why. Okay, once again, no problem. Once again, I'm showing you, since today, I think some network issue is coming. That's why voice is splitting and many of the students are not getting the voice. Okay, issue, this is for issue and Arnav. See, issue and Arnav, if suppose this is a root immersed within the soil particles and this is the root hair. These are the root hairs. So the soil particles have oxygen present around them. So from there, from the soil particle, O2 will diffuse through the root hair into the root. And that oxygen will be used up into the plant body. Plant body, the CO2 which has to be expelled out will also diffuse out through the root hair into the soil. So by the process of diffusion, O2 and CO2 exchange is occurring. Issue and Arnav, now it is clear to you? Issue, Arnav and Arpita. Now it is clear to you. I think now the voice is going. The voice is not breaking. By the process of diffusion. Yes, Arnav, I think today voice is splitting. Yes. Due to some network error. Okay. Okay, now the next part, students. Yes, issue. Give me the reply, issue. Arnav, one thing you can do, once you disconnect and again you join, I will admit you. Okay. Now, the next part which we are coming is the respiration in case of, just a moment. Respiration, yes, this part, yes. Respiration in the stem, okay. Now, students, you must have seen the lenticels. Have you seen the lenticel, student? The bark of the tree, okay, the bark of the tree. Issue, voice is not going. Ishu Kumar Singh, voice is not going. Like Arnav has disconnected and again joined. So issue, once you also do that, because rest of the students have said voice is going through. So once issue, you also disconnect and again you join, I will admit. Arnav, now voice is clear. Arnav, now voice is clear. You give me the remark through the chat box. Yes. Okay, fine. Yes, that's why whenever this problem comes now from your side also, you disconnect and you again join. Okay, no problem. So now, student, the old trees, in class 9, you have studied about epidermis corp. Okay, so in the old trees, you have seen the bark of the tree. And in the bark of the trees, you will be seeing that some holes are present. And these holes are called lenticels. These holes are called lenticels, and it is through the lenticel that exchange of gases occur in case of the stem. For example, I'm showing you with the help of the diagram also, which I'm drawing. Suppose this is the stem. Okay, this is a stem. This we are discussing respiration in case of the stem. Now, these have this, the stem bark have the small openings. These are called lenticels, and through these lenticels, exchange of gases. These holes are called, let me write over here, these holes are called lenticels. Okay, lenticels. These holes are called lenticels, and through this the exchange of the gases occur. Now, another image which is there on your screen, let me highlight that image so that the lenticels will be even more clear to you. Student, all of you look to the image which is on the extreme right side of your screen, which I've encircled with the green pen. Can you see the tree? And here an opening is there, which is called the lenticels. Let me use the other color, red color. Yes. Yes. Can you see here the lenticels? Is it? You have seen? All the students have seen the lenticels? So it is through the lenticels that exchange of gases is occurring. Okay, this is a sectional view of the stem. Okay, so respiration in case of the stem is clear. Respiration in case of the stem is clear. Through the chat box, you give me the reply. Respiration. In the, okay, fine. Yes. Okay. Okay, I got the remark. Fine. Okay. Now, Ishu, Arnav, I hope now the voice is going to you all clearly. Ishu, Arnav. Ishu, please give your remark in the chat box. Okay, fine. Okay, good. Okay. Now, student, the last part of the respiration in case of the plants. Now, in plants, the third type, like we have discussed the respiration in the root, we have discussed the respiration in case of the stem. Now, we will also discuss the respiration in case of the leaves. Now, see, all of you look to this diagram, which is there on the, just a moment. Yes. Can anyone tell me what this structure is called, which I am just labeling? What is the name of this structure? What is the name of this structure which I have encircled by the red color? Anyone? Unmute yourself so that, yeah, raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Okay, Kunal. Kunal, unmute yourself, Kunal. Okay, Akanksha, you have answered through the chat box. Kunal, unmute yourself. Kunal, unmute yourself. Kunal Kishore. Okay, let me give this option to Akanksha. Akanksha, unmute yourself. Akanksha, unmute yourself. Akanksha, unmute yourself. Yes, Akanksha, through the chat box, you can. Yes, let me again come to the. Yes, again it got disconnected, no problem. Let the screen to reload. Yes, meanwhile, Akanksha. Yes, Akanksha, unmute yourself now. Unmute yourself, Akanksha.
Yes, sir.
What will be the
Yes,
answer?
sir. Stomata.
Very good. The stomata. Yes.
Stomata.
Very good. The guard cells and the opening of the guard cell, that is the stomata. So through the stomata, the exchange of gases take place. Already in the nutrition in the plant, we have studied about the role of the stomata. Okay. So the respiration in case of the leaf take place by the exchange of the gases through stomata. So once again, the respiration in the plant in three parts we have studied: respiration in the root, respiration in the stem, and respiration in case of the leaf. Is this respiration in the plant clear to each and every students? Now, Kunal. Okay, fine. All the students, please give me the feedback. Feedback is very much essential so that I can progress. And if you have any query, then you can also ask. Next is Zishan. You please edit your name before entering the class. It's showing your 9G. So make it 10G. Okay, Zishan? Fine. Okay. Now, student, we are coming to the respiration in case of animals. Now, before coming to the respiration in case of the animals, we have in our syllabus the aquatic animal and the terrestrial animal. In the aquatic animal, the mechanism is not there in our syllabus, but the main thing is that have you seen a fish respiring? Anyone, have you seen the fish breathing inside the water? Or have you ever seen the movement of the mouth and the gills of the fish? Okay, issue. I will come to that point. Okay, one thing, issue has sent a query also. Let me come back to that slide. Yes, students, one more thing need to be discussed over here when we have discussed or we got over with the respiration in case of the plants. Students, while the screen sharing is loading, we can discuss with this. During daytime, we know that plant takes CO2 for photosynthesis and plant takes CO2 for photosynthesis and releases oxygen. And during the night, we know that photosynthesis does not occur. So what happened during the night? So respiration is the major activity. CO2 is released at night, but there is no process occurring in the plant. Yes, students, today there is a huge network issue. Okay, so at least good, you all are bearing with that, no problem. So one thing at night, during daytime, first let us discuss what happened during day. During daytime, photosynthesis is occurring, CO2 is used up. Both photosynthesis and respiration is occurring during the day. The CO2 which is used up in the photosynthesis, and photosynthesis releases O2, and O2 which is released during photosynthesis is used in respiration. But at night, do you think that photosynthesis will also occur? What is your general idea? At night, why do the photosynthesis does not occur? Anyone? At night, why does the photosynthesis does not occur? Yes, student, my question was that at night, why does the photosynthesis does not occur? Anyone? At night, why? Okay, Kunal, unmute yourself, Kunal.
Sir, due to absence of sunlight.
Very good. Due to the absence of sunlight. Yes, very good. Correct answer. So at night, there is no CO2 release. Okay. Now, issue, is it clear to you? Gargi, yes, correct. Gargi has answered through the chat box due to absence of sunlight. Akanksha also raised her hand. Issue now it is clear that you asked the point night, there is no CO2 release because photosynthesis is not. Yes, night release CO2. This okay, issue, is it clear to you now? Issue, is it clear to you that why? Okay, issue, just a okay, issue, unmute yourself. Yes, issue, unmute yourself. I've given you the option. Issue, you can unmute yourself. I've given you the option. Okay, Arnav, yes. Your question is that when do desert plant produce photosynthesis? Yes, Arnav, I'm coming to this point. This question I think came in your class test also. The desert plant definitely they do the process of the photosynthesis at night. One minute. Yes, issue now it is coming. My voice is going. Student, today there is a huge network issue. One minute. Just a moment. My voice is coming to you. My voice is coming to you. Through the chat box, you give me the reply because my screen is not being shared, but my voice is going to you. Just yes, students. Yes, I think my voice. Yes. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, students. Now my voice is coming to you. Now my voice is coming to you all. Just a moment. Today, some network. Today, yes, today definitely there is some huge network issue. That is why I think my screen is not visible to all. Just a moment. Let me share my screen once again. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay. Yes, students. Okay. Now my voice is going through the chat box. You give me the reply, please. Now my voice is going to you. Now my voice is going to you, students. Now my voice is going to you all through the chat box. You give me the reply. Yes, Arnab, now my voice is going. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, let me not share the screen. Let me discuss with you. Yes, students, yes, today we faced a huge network issue again and again. The class is getting disconnected. Let me see whether my screen is getting loaded to you or not. Okay. Now, students, coming back to our previous point. Yes, Arnav had a question. Wait, let me come to Arnav questions. Let me come to Arnav question. Yes, Arnav had a query that when do desert plant produce photosynthesis? Arnav, the question will be when do desert plant do photosynthesis? Okay, any idea? Any guesses, anyone? When do the desert plant can perform the photosynthesis? Issue, okay. Issue raised his hand. Okay, Issue, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Issue. I've given you the option. Yes, Issue. Issue, you can unmute yourself.
यस सर, नाइट में होता है सर, उसमें से अनम्यूट का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा था।
Okay, no problem. Yes, issue. आज दिक्कत हो रही है because the network issue. Yes, correct at night. Okay, correct at night. Very good. Yes, this is the major thing because they don't want, they remain the stomata closed during the daytime to preserve the water loss, and that is why they perform the function of the photosynthesis during the night time. Okay, fine. Let me see whether the screen sharing. Okay, students, I think within 1 or 2 minutes, our class will be ending today. No problem. Though this part, if you want, we will be discussing again in a class also, because today the network issue was a lot. Now, student, my question was that with you all. Okay, let me stop sharing with this. My next question, my next query is for all. Yes, my next question was that, have you seen the fish respiring? Have you seen the fish respiring? Yes or no? Okay, do you think any difference between the rate of breathing of the fish and our rate of breathing? Okay, Gargi, no problem. Maybe you have not seen, no matter. You have seen anything like this? The rate of breathing is faster in case of the aquatic organism. Why the rate of breathing is faster in case of the aquatic organism? Because the amount of the oxygen dissolved in water is fairly low as compared to the terrestrial organism. And that is why they breathe at a faster rate. Okay. It is in water, so the amount of the oxygen dissolved in water is low, and that is why they are breathing very fast and fast, so that they can meet the respiratory demand. But in the terrestrial animal like us, we are respiring normally because the amount of the oxygen present in the air is a sufficient amount. So we did not have to breathe up, or we did not have to hurry up for the breathing. Student, our time is about to end, so I'm ending today's class. Okay, so thank you all for today's class. Though today we have encountered huge network issue, so the class will be automatically now disconnected. So thank you, student, for today's class. Thank you all.